I think you did.
From the second of the second month of 1443, 5 of potions, King of candles, reversed, 18 the moon, reversed, 11 justice, 10 the wheel of fortune. Plans have been rejected, but let's not limits cause us to suffer. Sometimes that is because of what can bring more together. Then we find spiritual, mental, and material rewards for each other. Throughout life, deciding the best thoughts, words, and actions can become easier. Trapped as you may be in the conditions of life, don't be distraught. And be part of the changer. And what is some of your thoughts on that poem? And
just the colors, the hues of the colors. I picked up looking up, reaching for something new, reaching for it's attainable. It's like things are attainable. Moon.
well,
I don't know where that,
the 5 of potions here, I think it's showing. Plans have been rejected, but let not limits cause us to suffer. So and things are attainable, but what's not attainable, it's not, you know, something to worry too much about. And then we got like practically all new colors with the King of Candles. And the King of Candles, he's sometimes that is because of what can bring more together. But isn't the King of Candles like, this is like Skeleton Jack hides behind the King of Candles? Or I forget his doesn't he show up in a flaming pumpkin and all that, and then he's like in his black and white suit?
Yeah.
Or is this just guy first or something?
Also, I believe it was on that last card, or the fourth one I picked up. Yeah, that one. I felt like a trapped feeling, like somebody that's trapped, or you know, they think they're trapped, but they're really not.
Well, and if you are, there's still, you know, there's this situation of the fate, the rise, the ascent, and the stagnation. But it's like, well, what consciousness and what actions are you going to choose for your, you know, your situation? And obviously, sometimes stagnation is like, okay, then if it continues in the future, then there's something for it. But then again, if it's worse, be nice to be. It's be nice to be, but a saw blade and some human remains strapped to it is, you know, not the most pleasant of images. Trapped as you may be in the conditions of life, don't be distraught and be part of the changer. And there's 2 cards that we did not go over the lines there. We have throughout life, deciding the best thoughts, words, and actions can become easier. And the moon is also reversed. Then we find spiritual, mental, and material rewards for each other. And, you know, because, you know how the movie goes, eventually, I don't think I've seen the other, Corpse Bride or whatever. I just don't remember it. I've seen Nightmare Before Christmas a few times in my life, but I think the theme is that, okay, he's on this, and eventually Sally. So Sally joins Jack eventually, and
I see a lot of
so
increase in that card. I feel a lot of increase.
well, there's those pumpkins. Pumpkins are a very cosmological sort of thing. They like just like pomegranates. Pumpkins are like the more northern version of the pomegranate myth, is that they're portions, but it's a more external detail sort of thing. But yeah, so he's in the graveyard, and so the snow, it gets covered over to maybe protected to grow again. So they just let it grow with a bunch of pumpkins, and then it just, gets covered in snow, and it comes back the next year.
Right.
And so all the creatures are watching his speech. Remember, he gives a speech why we should take over Christmas, and like Santa Claus needs a break. We're giving Santa Claus a break here.
Santa rest.
which leads to an awesome song. Santa Claus, peanut box. Look after 50 years. See it. I don't remember the words. Maddie talks.
I remember that Christmas song. Better watch out, or how did it go? Better watch out, better not cry, boys and girls. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. That's an old one. Oh my goodness. It's just not.
Well, the 13. I've pointed this out before. The 13. The 12 Days of Christmas was based on a Jewish hymn. Who knows 13? So
I did not know that.
Presents and potions. Okay, so yeah, eat potions. Okay, this was easier to find. And I'm looking for another presents card. And sometimes you don't get it's like I did a program where I said, okay, I found some tarot cards when I rewatched the Nightmare Before Christmas. So I posted that, but I bet there's more, there's obviously more cards, but sometimes you don't get exactly the cards as shown in the movie. But I think that's a good format for the movie. It's actually, you try to somehow represent a pretty wide range of life. And maybe that's part of why the Nightmare Before Christmas did so well, is because it's like a secular approach to, the variety of life. And Don Quixote was very famous of a book, partially because it was like, how in the world this guy, he got all these characters in this book. I mean, he got like 700 something characters in this book. It's amazing the book was tolerable to read, considering that, right?
Right. A lot of characters.
But that's what this stuff, it's like I was trying to say. It's like, these various, like in our program that we recorded for the start of 2023, I was trying to say how, these themes are something we can work with. Like when you pick the cards at random, it gives it points out thoughts that you may not have otherwise had that associate with these cards. And maybe one day versus another. And but let's I suppose I could throw in what you'd call a shout out. you know, that this meme, and it's not the first person this time this person has said stuff, because see, I'm trying to get across different stuff with this. Is my tarot cards have been lying to me, my guides have lied to me, but then again, they pointed out to me that it doesn't matter whether they're honest with. Is that really your spiritual guides are going to lie to you, and you're going to, like, then again, you're going to trust them to how you should live your life?
No.
Yeah, that
I would.
sounds.
I don't see how. I don't see how that could work.
But you know that this is some real information here, and I'm just going to switch quickly over. But that knife, that you know, in a getting in a Halloweeny mood, I guess it makes her look like it makes this person look like a witch, and you've got some ritual murder knife in there, and that's literally what it is. It's a replica of a ritual murder knife.
Well, yeah.
So I'm not making fun. I'm seriously presenting what's believing. You know, nobody succeeded in the moment. So if you don't, and long term, you just didn't believe in me enough, that sort of stuff. And it's like, now there are some things that are particular and some universal, but you know how
it's kind of like you know, this back to saying the guides have lied to the person. Well, I mean, how would they ever know when the guides are telling them the truth? I mean,
well, one of the things too is you got to figure out that this is going to show off at any second now, but the one of the things that you got to address is that it's not just you're incredulous and you're going to believe whatever path you're on. You're just at the whim of how good or true or how whatever or useful the path you were that was presented to you, that you just grabbed up. It's a little better than that, and